So with the introduction of the corporate tax law in the UAE, the first and the foremost compliance requirement is to obtain a tax registration number, the TRN. Now this requirement has come to light even more after the decision issued by the FTA, which has prescribed specific timelines for various taxable persons to obtain a TRN. Now an important issue that has been raised time and again is whether any entity which is not operational or dormant or which is already into liquidation phase, whether it is required to obtain a tax registration number or not. The answer to that is yes. It's because the law, as per Article 51, specifies that every taxable person is required to obtain a TRN. And as per Article 11 of the UAE City Law, any entity that is established or incorporated in accordance with any relevant regulations in the UAE is a taxable person. The Ministry of Finance and the Federal Tax Authority, by way of their FAQs, had clarified that every entity, irrespective of its turnover levels or any thresholds, is required to necessarily file a tax return. This implicitly necessitates that such entity also needs to obtain a tax registration number. In spite of these clarifications, there were some concerns that were raised as to whether the requirement to obtain a tax registration number is still pertinent. To clear the air surrounding this debate, the public clarification that has been recently issued by the Federal Tax Authority specifically mentions that every entity, whether it has been into liquidation phases or it has not been carrying out any business or not intending to carry out any business, if its first tax period has started, it is required to necessarily obtain a tax registration number. So it is imperative for all the businesses to evaluate this requirement and comply with the requirements on an immediate basis in accordance with the timelines that have been prescribed by the FTA, which could otherwise lead to penal consequences. Thank you.